There are a number of budget votes that have been delivered over the past couple of days. Now, Police Minister Bheki Cele has presented his department's budget vote for the 2023-24 period. The lion's share of over 1.8 billion rand has been set aside for visible policing. To react to this, we're joined by the Secretary General of the Independent Policing Union of South Africa, General Mpho, Kwinika. Thank you so much for joining us. Just your reaction to the money being thrown, 1.8 billion or so for assets and vehicles for more visible policing. What are your thoughts on it?
Good morning. IPUSA appreciates the budget for the police, and we support that budget. I think we have made some inputs to it. 1.8 billion rand adding to the budget that is being issued to Visible. You will recall that in the financial year 2022-2023, the Minister of Police has been moving around the country having what we call imbezos as a result of the South African Police Service incapacity to deal with issues of crime. And he had found out during that time that there is shortages in manpower, shortages in vehicles, and in the State of the Nation address, the President came in and said, I'm going to give you more money to have more members on the ground. I'm going to modernize the call centers. I'm going to make sure that your relationship together with the communities is improved. And the list was long. So the budget seeks to be addressing most of the problem which we're pressing to South Africans.
This is good and well while we react to what the minister had presented in terms of his budget vote, but it's on the ground experience where communities now have a trust deficit with the police in terms of the rapid response, where you would wait for hours on end for the police to respond to your situation. So how is this budget going to address that? Just the urgency of where people might find themselves in distress and needing police assistance.
Yes, you will also realize that the minister said is going to modernize 10,111 centers so that no call goes unanswered and no call does not get any response from the South African Police Service members. So the modernization of the call center it seeks to address the problems which the communities had with the responses from the South African Police Service. The issue of the vehicles, which this budget seeks to also go and address, it's going to address the issue of responses to complaints which the community are faced with. So the budget is coming in, and what is so impressive about it is that the minister is now giving the National Commissioner of Police directives to say, I want 1.8 billion rand to be spent specifically on this issue so that we can address the complaints South Africans are having.
Mr. Kwinika, with all due respect, we've had so many of these campaigns, Operation Vulindlela, in terms of road traffic management, Operation Okai Mulawu, and being, Batupele principles. Again, if you don't have the quality and caliber of police officers that are there because they want to serve and not because of desperation for employment, then this is simply just throwing money to a problem that is not going to go away.
Yeah, look, the issue of the trust between the South African police members and the communities, it has been always a burning issue, and hence the president has indicated that he would want to see the improvement on the relationship between the two through these CPF structures. And the minister is also doing the same thing now, responding to what the president called was. Right, the police will have the management when they do enlistment. They also have to up their game when it comes to issues of employing people who have got the capacity, the people who are fit for purpose to come and serve South Africans. So there's the vetting processes as well to get the right people to get into this environment is important. And to also have good management leadership, the leadership that is dedicated in leading the service so that South Africans get the best out of this service.
And lastly, Mr. Kwinika, dealing with issues of corruption within the police service itself, where there are allegations of police officers being involved in the drug cartel, or even where they are protecting criminals who are operating in communities. What is your response, and how is this budget going to deal with eradicating corruption within the police force?
Look, discipline is the prerogative, is the management function or management line function, and the prerogative of the management to instill discipline within the environment. Again, that is an issue of leadership. You need to have good leadership to know exactly what is happening around you. So that was going to be remaining an issue for management to make sure that the service has got disciplined members. The issue of resources, it plays a very important role, because you will be able to get police officers where they are needed most, and when you do parades, you'll be able to know who is in here, who is not there, and if in the morning and even in the afternoon when they knock off or they knock on duty. So the budget is very important to enable the institution to realize its constitutional obligations, which is to ensure safety and security to all inhabitants of this country.
We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you indeed. That is from the Independent Policing Union of South Africa, the General Secretary Mpho Kwinika, talking about Police Minister Bheki Cele's 1.8 billion rand for police or visibility in his budget.